I have another question for you, it's not really, it's to you, yes, but it's a question I have for a lot of politicians who run. You talked about job creation, and I always ask, what does that look like? Like, what jobs specifically, if you can answer that you
Mm.
want to create? Is there, because everyone say, oh, I'm going to create, uh, you know, going to create jobs and for infrastructure. Okay, what
What is it?
jobs? Yeah, what
What is it?
jobs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is it? So for me, what does job creation look like? Okay. So as a former uh, um, employee of New Process Gear, which was a manufacturing company that was here. It left in 2000. Well, I took the buyout in 2008. I think they folded in 2010 or 11, maybe a little longer. I just don't remember. But that company left a whole, I think it was like 3,200 employees. At its peak, it was like 40-something hundred employees. A good portion of them was from the city. Most of them was not. When you look at a company like that left, and then you look at like GE that left, and then you look at Hoffman's that folded, and you look at Carrier that folded. For me, job creation is like this. Amazon is coming here. That's great. You know, if I had been on the council, I would have been talking to the county exec to say that I'm glad that Amazon is coming, but what I want to do is sit down with the executive of Amazon, because you're going to be in this region. I want to know how many jobs are going to be geared specifically toward people in this community. Because when the companies come into this city, they're given tax breaks or tax shelters or pilots. So if you're given a tax shelter or tax break or a pilot on a city, then what is the city getting in return? I respectfully say that the city should get in return is that say to these companies and corporations that there's a pool of individuals who you need to make sure have access or opportunities to be on the hiring list for those jobs. When I talk about job creation, I'm talking about companies or going out and suggesting to the county exec and suggesting to the mayor that sheep beget sheep. If you are in a position of leadership and you know that from Syracuse you can reach 4 to 10 metropolitan cities in the United States within 4 to 8 hours, 4 to 8 hours, driving distance wise, that means that our city is centrally located. So it's a good spot for businesses who want to do business to come here and do business. The other thing is this: our water is the best, bar none. The best water. And I used to think it was next to Alaska until the professor at up on the university, ESF, Environment Enforcement School, told me that no, our water is the best, bar none. This is where me as councilor, as a representative of the city, looking at different companies and corporations who utilize water, like Coke, that's in Atlanta. And I don't know if you noticed, but in the 30s, they used to have a plant here in Syracuse, but they left. This is where I would be reaching out, you know, as council, even as councilor at large, and having a conversation with the county exec and the mayor, is that we need to go and reach out to these companies and corporations and explain to them why you need to do business in our city and why this is an attraction for our city for you to be here, and what are the benefits. You could reach 8 to 10 metropolitan cities in the United States within 4 to 6 hours. We have the best water, bar none. We have to change our schools to make sure that our school system is more to par so that we can be on the cutting edge in terms of just testing and those things that has to come up. I won't deny that. Those things have to come up, but there are financial pluses that would attract businesses and companies to come to this city so that they can do business. That's a part of job creation, because when you look at those companies that have left, look at why they left. One of them, high taxes. And that's the conversation you have with the state legislation and with the governor, that we're losing too many businesses because in New York State, it's tough to do business because of taxes. So we have to broker that conversation. But when you broker that conversation, we're also saying, if we're going to give you these pilots, and if we're going to give you these incentives, then you have to guarantee that so many jobs are going to come from certain segments of the city, particularly those areas where there's a high level of unemployment and low-income people who need job opportunities. That's one piece. The other piece is this, like yourself. I assume that with your podcast, and I don't even know, but I'm not going to make an assumption, because when you assume, you make an ass out of yourself. I would respectfully say that it appears that you are driven not by what somebody else says, but you try to make moves to put yourself in a better place, right or wrong.
Yes.
So you wouldn't be prone to trying to start or create a business that is going to support you and your family, right or wrong.
Wait, repeat that again. I won't support a. Say it again.
You wouldn't be against trying to create or start a business itself that is going to support you and your family, right or wrong.
Right, I won't be against it.
So for me as counselor, I want more people like yourself and to find more people who are into starting and creating businesses within their communities, their skills and resources, so that they can create jobs. And then I also want the city, the same way they gave Destiny, like for instance, Destiny Mall. When Destiny Mall was built, they got a 30-year plus a 7-year tax break. That's 37 years they're not paying taxes to the city.
Wow. That
works out to be, and my math may be a little fuzzy, but I know back then it was like 1.6 million a year that the city wasn't getting. But guess what happens if Destiny Plumbing goes down? Guess who has to take care of that?
Destiny Mall?
No, the city.
Oh, the city.
Guess what happens if the water backs up?
The city.
Guess who has to take care of that? The city. Guess who removes a lot of the snow and all that stuff? Guess who does that?
The city.
The city. So they have a 37-year tax break, but yet they still have a demand on city services. How does that work?
I don't know. That's like a sweet deal to me.
It sounds like an excellent deal. So this is what I'm saying to the city. This is what I'm saying to our city, is that we can encourage people in our community to create and start businesses and give them incentives and give them resources and opportunities to be small business owners. We give them, like one of my things that I believed in, and I still believe this. This was when I ran for mayor. Take a small business owner, and we follow that business owner from start to success. We help them with the planning, with the whole concept of getting their business running. Mm-hmm. And then instead of taxing them at 100%, we give them what I call the sliding scale with carrots. And with caveats or with pullbacks if we have to. That sliding scale works like this. You start a business, you get a tax incentive where we start you off at, maybe instead of 100%, we start you off at like 15%, 20% taxes for the year. So for each fiscal year, instead of you paying 100% taxes on your business, you pay a small percentage. And at the same time, we help you grow your business. And as your business grows, every other year, there's an evaluation of how the business is growing to determine when we raise your percentage of your taxing so that it can go back into the city coffers. Now, to me, and to the financial economist that I talked to about, he was like, "Wow, that's a brilliant idea, because you help lift up the very least of them, and you help create small business owners, and you help create small businesses within the community." I think it's a fabulous idea.
I like that idea.
It will help grow and create job opportunities. So let's say if let's say specifically you started a business, and we gave you some incentives, we helped you start the business, and we taxed you at a lesser part for the first couple of years, and then we evaluated how you was doing, and then let's say your business started growing by leaps and bounds, and so now we got you to at 100% within the 3 to 5 years, and most businesses either fold or they're going to continue within 3 to 5 years. So now you're in your 4th year and you're growing, and we're able to put you at 100% taxes. Now you say, well, okay, that's good. What else can the city do? Now that your business is growing, you need to hire. So now we're saying to you, okay, well, when you hire somebody that lives within the city. Hire local. And when you hire local, now we're going to find other ways to incentivize you for creating employment opportunities for people that lives in the city, because you've created a job. There are so many ways that we can incentivize small businesses and businesses in our community to help push the larger agenda forward by supporting them systemically from start to creation and success, and then making sure the necessary things are in place to garner to gird up any pitfalls that may come. They've done it and they do it in other metropolitan cities. We just haven't tried to do it here.
I agree with everything you're saying. I think it's a fantastic idea. But one of the things that I don't hear a lot of people say, and I said this to Vernon Williams, who's running for district re-election for District 16.
Mm-hmm. And he's running for County Ledge. Yeah, we running for two different things.
Yeah, you guys running for 2 different things. Why is there not like a government build? Why can't the state build a school, school for adults, right? This way you have and hire people in the community to build it, right? So now those people in the community are now building this institution. The institution now trains people to learn a trade. Now, the people in the community know a trade. They will be the teachers. They'll teach the people who know the trade, and those people who know the trade can now go out into the world with this new trade. I don't know if that's something that can be done, but I never heard anybody, because trades, like me, myself, yeah, I have this podcast on Be Major Enterprise, but I'm also a chef. You know, I'm a certified chef. Like I can literally work anywhere on the planet. So I've been doing it for 16 years. Can I teach? Do I want to teach somebody? And do I teach them? Yes. But I know in my past, I tried to teach at BOCES. They said I had to get a teaching license and had to go to school to be a teacher for like 5 years. Like, I was like, well, I have this skill that I had for, at the time, it was like 12 years. Why don't we utilize the people in the community who have these trades, like chefs, carpenters, plumbing, HVAC, etc.,
electricians. So, have you been reading my material?
I've read some of it. I only had a couple minutes. Now, here's why I had a couple minutes. First, it took me a while to find it, and then I only had a couple minutes to look through it, and I was like, try to hurry up.
I'm like, you just all up in my when I ran for mayor, my mayoral material. I'm like, okay, but that goes to show that great minds think alike. Something that I wanted to do, that I talked about, and I, as a candidate for councilor at large, to your point exactly.